Hello there, Charlie here. I want to share with you who I am voting for in the US election. And currently I am in Palm Springs. And I've got some silence up here, just listening to the stillness. And probably half a kilometre, half a mile away from anyone. It's really beautiful. So the US election, I think it's in a few days. Well, actually, I'm not voting, and for one, I can't vote. I don't have a US passport, but even if I could, I wouldn't vote. And I want to share why, and I want to share about a conversation that I had with a good friend here in California. His name's also Charlie, and he shared something and deeply resonated with me, and I was like, yeah, that's how I feel. So I wouldn't vote because one reason is the channel of truth, like what is actually real, what is true, is so skewed at this moment. There is this chaos around, like, one news station might say something, the other one says a totally opposite thing, but they're talking about the same thing. But there's an agenda that's being funneled. And this creates a real instability and a real unknown around even like what is real. And I was speaking about this the other day, and we were talking about, me and my partner, we were talking about what is, like, there's this war, but what is this war? There's this friction, there's this tension, there's two sides, there's everything happening, there's chaos. Like, is it they want money? Like, what do they want? And we came to an agreement that there's this war on truth. There's this war on the media. Because if you control the media, you can control the minds. And that is true power. The true power is whoever owns the media, whoever owns the news stations, whoever owns Twitter, Facebook. This is the truth. This is what is being funneled into us to believe, because we're all very receptive. We're all very, like, quite open, and we want to listen and we want to know what's going on. But if there's not this clear source that is truly wanting the best for the people and is connected to their heart, it's going to be skewed. There's going to be greed. There's going to be, you just look back in history, this is where it all comes from. So there's this huge, almost, it's been in the shadow, I think, for so many years around, there has been agendas, there has been people in power that have pushed an agenda and, got what they wanted and these things. But now it's sort of coming into the light, and we're seeing it so obviously. You can turn on a news station. It's so obvious that they're not just saying what happened. They're saying, well, I'm on this side, I'm on this team, and that team did that, and that team did that. And then you go on the other station, it's like, well, that team did that. And there's this real polarization. And there's this fight, there's this friction. And what is this? Going back to that conversation that I had with my friend Charlie. This is a outward projection. This is a representation of what is happening internally within us. There's this friction, there's this chaos, there's this instability from our mind to our heart. There's pulling, there's tension. There's chaos in relationships, there's chaos in family dynamics, and it's very, very easy for us to project and go, oh, well, that person's doing that person's really bad, and that person's doing that, and both sides are just hating on the other side. And then we're fighting in our relationships, or we're fighting in our family dynamics, or our body is fighting within itself, and there's dis-ease in the body, there's not ease. There's discomfort, there's disharmony, there's unhealthy thoughts, unhealthy emotions, unhealthy physical things. There's just like stuff happening in us, and it's just a representation, and it's so obviously polarized, and there's this huge battle and war going on. but it's almost like, I don't know how to say it, like two wings, the same bird or something, like it doesn't really matter who you're going for. In my opinion, it's almost like it's the same bird, it's the same system. The system is not based in truth, it's not based in the heart. It's still based in these old paradigm ways that are fundamentally rooted and grounded in fear, in anger, in protection, in greed, in manipulation, in control, in wanting, all these things that we're actually breaking out of, but it has to come to the light, and it's so clear. Like the torch is just being put so clearly on these things, and it's almost like it's like comical. It's like it's not because it's really impacting people's lives, but it's almost so obviously distorted that I think people are just like, oh wow, this has gone too far. There needs to be another way, and something has to snap. And I feel like that's what's going to happen over the next few years. There's going to be this breakdown and a snap, and it's going to cause pain, it's going to cause tension, it's going to cause despair for most people. But it has to happen. It's like that internal journey from your mind to your heart. It's not a logical thing. You can't just slowly go. It's like a snap. It has to crack and you have to drop into your heart. But it often takes tension, and it takes struggle and challenge and pain to get there. And most people don't want to go there. And most people are too afraid of that because it's the unknown, and that's okay. But this is just a representation of what's happening. So yeah, I wouldn't personally vote, because I don't judge anyone who does vote. I think there's things that can work either side. There's things that are really quite negative on either side, and it's a challenging thing. But I personally wouldn't put my vote into that system. I think that's maybe a more like younger generation thing to do. But I'm actually waiting for a leader to stand up who is based in their heart, who is connected to their heart, and they will have my full support, my vote, and my energy and acknowledgement, and they're the leaders that we need, and that's what we're moving into. But everything has to be brought to the light first. So whoever you feel like you want to win, whoever you think's going to win, whoever you are voting for, there's absolutely no judgment on my end. It's all a dance of energy. But I really feel like we are moving into a world that is going to drop from the mind, control, these things into the heart, compassion, love, intuition, stillness, silence, connection. Okay, I think that's all from me. Wishing you a beautiful week. It's a big week for the world either way, and just find those moments of stillness, those moments of silence, those moments of listening, where you can listen to yourself, where you can give to yourself. Okay, bye for now.